What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And I want to do a quick Q&A as I promised you guys a few days ago. You asked questions on YouTube and Instagram and some on Facebook, and I collected some of them and I'm going to answer them right now. Question number 1 from Daniel van Bemmel. Yo Wes, what's your opinion on Sean Ray? I think his legs were extremely well developed and he also had quite a small waist. Now here you can see a picture of Sean Ray. He indeed was one of the last, in my opinion, classic bodybuilders who still looked quite massive. Even though he's not really tall, actually he's pretty short, like Lee Priest. His aesthetics were unbelievable. Usually these short guys have the blockier waist, but he was able to pull a vacuum pose and still have all that muscularity to compete with the guys on the Mr. Olympia. So yes, I like him a lot as a bodybuilder. Rage Too Hard asks, what's your favorite style of music to listen to at the gym? Honestly, my favorite style is just metal, nu metal, heavy metal, symbolic metal, symphonic metal. Put anything in front of metal and I like it, except for black metal or death metal. But metal it is. Next question by Willie Kaufhold. Hey Wes, can you talk about how low test and the best supplements that are on the market to take? You're the man, alright? Interesting question. Well, honestly, I have not looked into low testosterone supplements. There are a lot of testosterone boosters out there, but none of them really boost the testosterone. They just balance out the estrogen, the DHT, which is another form of testosterone, and all the other hormones. They kind of bring a balance in between these hormones, which makes you feel better. Not many guys have really low testosterone. Some people may feel like they do, but you only know for sure when you do a test. Now there is one supplement that is proven to work to up the testosterone if you have low testosterone, and that is zinc. And this is what I take every night anyway for a better sleep, because it also aids in sleep. There's also a ZMA supplement which has zinc in it as well, but this one will improve testosterone when taken consistently. This has about 250% of the daily dose, 25 milligrams. If you at least take one of these each night, you will be fine. Kiaran Cooley asks, do you regularly visit a chiropractor, and would you regularly get a deep tissue massage to decrease the chance of injury? I've never been to a chiropractor before. I have been to a physiotherapist when I had an injury in my back and he just cracked it back open. That's something you need. But I did go to a massage therapy. It wasn't really a deep massage, but it did help the blood flow in certain areas, such as my calves. Now, if you have pretty developed calves and you use them all day when you walk a lot of blood will be pumped inside the muscle and it can cause stiffness. And actually, when your calves are stiff, your ankles are stiff, it can even, for example, have consequences for your squatting, for your lunges, for any leg exercises, and it hurts your sheen, stuff like that. So I had it massaged there and it pretty much disappeared. Same for my legs, they were pretty tight, the muscles were tight, and massaging the muscles and really pulling the fibers apart, that actually separates the muscles more visually, and that'll make it look better as well. So it's two benefits. Next question by Travis Martinez. At what rate of cellular compensation will yield noticeable increases in lean muscle mass? How often should naturals expect muscle protein synthesis cycles after training? Lightweight, high repetitions, moderate weight textbook standard repetitions, heavy challenging every last bit of nerve recruited high intensity reps? Yes. Hubelil asks, is pre-workout necessary? It is not necessary if you feel energized, but sometimes when you're done with school, when you're done with work, you kind of need a boost. Now, I personally like to take caffeine capsules because you can really dose them. I take 100 milligram capsules from Cytic Nutrition, and you can just go from 1 capsule to 3 capsules if you don't have trouble sleeping on caffeine, at least. But when you take a pre-workout, you're pretty much stuck with what's in there. And on top of that, it doesn't really taste that great too. And next to that, you could take arginine, taurine, beta-alanine in capsule form as well, so you can dose it accordingly to your own needs instead of it having pre-composed inside of a pre-workout. Next question by Robin Raamdonk. Sorry, I'm not sure if that's right. Do you drink during your workouts? Is that necessary? So yes. What do you prefer to drink? And yes, drinking during workouts is necessary in my opinion. Sometimes when you feel that you just cannot get a pump, it may actually be due to you not absorbing enough water because you're not drinking enough water. Remember, your muscles are made almost entirely of water, so if you don't drink enough, the fullness will disappear, and when you train, you sweat, so you need to replenish yourself with water. I personally take a BCAA supplement, not that much in the off season, but when I'm cutting, I'm taking the BCAAs. It's called Amino Express by Cytic Nutrition, but it also has arginine and beta-alanine and pump-inducing ingredients in there to make me actually want to use it in the off season as well, because I do notice that when you take the pre-workout before training and you're 1 hour into your training, the pre-workout is kind of gone, but when you have something you can continually sip on, it'll stay in your system, so that is beneficial. Next question by Packmaster. What time do you wake and sleep? Well, I try to sleep at least 8 hours a day, so it depends how late I have to get up in the morning. It always changes when I have to go to school, but in the weekends I may even sleep like 10 hours a night, because the more you can sleep, the better it is for your recovery. So when I have to get up at 8 a.m., I go to sleep at 12. When I have to get up at 10 a.m., I may go to bed at 2 a.m., depending on how late I have to get up, and I can get more work in that way. Next question by HXMZA98. Which exercises work the outside of your biceps, and how do you get definition on the bicep? Well, the definition on the bicep is mostly due to your body fat being low, obviously, but also working one part of the bicep more than the other. And I prefer to work the outside more, because when you do your bicep, the outside has to be bigger than the inside so you can create the peak. And there's a bicep split in between these two heads that will be more defined when you have a bigger outer head. And good exercises for the outer head are close grip curls, easy curl bars, or easy bar preacher curls, close grip. But what you want to do is really, when you go upwards, squeeze the bicep really hard, and that will create that bicep peak. Next question by Apirtle14. Wes, how come I never seen you use a belt when you squatting heavy? What's your take on lifting belts? Do you just feel like it's a false sense of security? Let us know your take on the subject. So what is my take on the subject of weightlifting belts? Well, I saw Tom Platz in a video say that he did not use the belt for the compression it gives when you do the squat and you allow yourself to squat more, but because of the feeling it gives you. As you mentioned in your question, a false sense of security. Well, it's not really a false sense. It's really helping you stay in a straight line up and down, because you can really feel what your body is doing. as opposed to not wearing a belt. So I used to not wear a belt at all, even during the heaviest set, because I do believe that your core should be able to hold its own, even when doing heavy squats, for example. But nowadays, I do use a weightlifting belt when I do heavy weights, but only to have this feeling around my body, the belt pushing into my body and my body pushing into the belt. And that actually causes more stability in the lift, in my opinion. So that's my take on it. Last question by Lars Kreithoff, or Lars Kreithoff. How many times a month do you tan, and for how long? A month? Well, I tan about 1 to twice a week for a while until I reach a certain tan that I like, and then I only go once a week to maintain it. I try to stay away from the tanning bed as much as I can, but unfortunately in the winter I get really white if I don't do anything in the sun, because the sun is not there now. So I have to go to a tanning bed to maintain my tan. And importantly is to moisturize your face. I personally do it with coconut oil, so this prevents your skin from drying out, which often happens when you use a tanning bed quite a lot. Anyway guys, that was the Q&A of today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any other questions, ask me down below and I'll answer them in the next Q&A video. Don't forget to stay golden.